My perspective on hunting would be to do it responsibly. There's ways in which you can hunt and you're taking care of, the earth around you and the land around you. I started cutting meat when I was in culinary school, and it led me to some really awesome opportunities. And whenever I first started butchering, my parents thought it was kind of funny because they thought I would be a vet growing up because my love for animals. But they're like, you know what, this kind of makes sense. And for me, when I was thinking about what path to take in culinary school for my cuisine, I really fell in love with this chef called Fergus Henderson, who is kind of the father of nose-to-tail cuisine. And his concept of you're going to knock something on the head, you might as well eat it all, it just made a lot of sense to me. Went to culinary school. I started working for a man named Jesse Griffiths, who runs a restaurant called Daidue and a cooking school called New School of Traditional Cookery. The principle behind what he does is just to keep the earth happy and to do that through food. And he really loves hunting. That's kind of been his avenue, his meat. His slogan is eat a hog, save the world. And so through that opportunity, I was able to butcher antelope, elk, all kinds of things throughout the restaurant, really learning about hunting in that community and just kind of a positive impact it can have on the environment. I think that there are similarities between the way people consume domestically raised animals and eat meat and the same that there are with hunters. There are a lot of people who believe in hunting to save the environment or to have a positive impact on the environment around them. And I think that when I first started butchering, I really was inspired and fell in love with the farmers who were doing that through their farming practices. So something that's special about the place I'm at, they rotationally graze their animals, and they do it so that they're kind of giving the earth's surface a deep tissue massage. It really just makes for happy soil. They get to add organic matter back into it, and they just have these principles that almost mimic nature that restore the land. I think that's the mission for a lot of the hunters that I know, what they're doing. And in the same way there's similarities, there are people who hunt and they barely eat anything, or they just hunt to kill, or they just take off the back straps and kind of peel off the shoulders and that's it. What I've really found special about my path in butchery is that I worked for a gentleman who loved hunting and made that as a part of his restaurant's mission. So I got to see a little bit of what that type of butchering looked like, because it's totally different than a butcher shop butchering. It's a little bit more basic and practical, I think, when you're cutting meat for hunters. And I just got to see that in the most resourceful way, because what Daidue's mission is and what Jesse, the owner's mission is to teach people to eat the whole thing. People think that feral hog tastes nasty, and he has a lot of incredible recipes and interesting ways to cut the animal that makes it taste delicious. And so I think that what's made my butchering special, honestly, is the fact that I have had a lot of experience with hunting and hunters, and that it makes eating meat not intimidating and, again, kind of practical, and you're saving the planet in some sort of way when you actually get down to the facts and kind of what people really do and how they do it when it's focused on meat and agriculture or just eating meat and hunting. A lot of people's perspective about eating meat is that it can be pretty wasteful. And I think that that type of false notion of eating spreads over to hunting. And so I think that a lot of people think it can be really wasteful and just for show. Even with the crazy amount of influence that social media has on mainstream culture, you see articles about young women shooting lions for no reason and just for champion and show. So I think there's a lot of false ideas of how more practical people hunt. It's really neat for me. Anytime I meet older generations of people, my friends or my boyfriend or someone's the first to say, like, she's a butcher. And immediately people are like, I grew up eating my own meat, but it wasn't in a butcher shop, it was hunting. And we used to make our own sausage and we used to do everything. And unfortunately, you kind of see that dying out, I think, in our generations, or it's just oversaturated in kind of certain ways where people are really losing sight of what the true purpose of, going out and hunting and providing for your family and community is. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a community that is trying to regenerate the land while also keeping population control in perspective. And through doing that, I think what makes my position of butcher pretty cool is that I get to teach people how to eat that whole animal again. My name is Julia Poplawsky. Because I'm a butcher, I appreciate the art of wild game eating and hunting. My name is Julia Poplawsky, and because I'm a butcher, I appreciate, I just forgot it.